What's up, man?
How's the gas these days?
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was quite disgusting and too accurate. You really need to go and see a doctor about your flatulence.
My flatulence?
Your
That was
flatulence.
What, you're tied down with your microphone, you couldn't get up?
It was disgusting. Really, seriously, I've never met anybody outside of a 14-year-old who gets so much pleasure out of farting.
Why? You're a 12-year-old.
I'm a 12-year-old, but I don't get that much pleasure farting as you do.
You're supposed to say, yeah, I'm 12, I'm not 14.
Oh, that's fair enough, I'm not.
Okay.
Maybe when I mature, I'll start enjoying farting more.
Yeah, you need to mature a little bit.
I do.
Yeah.
And you need to, show your age a little bit more. Actually, you already are. I can.
All right, so what are we going to do today?
We're doing that critic show. Remember that season 3 critics?
Let's do it. You want to watch a clip?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go.
First, they came for the writers. But I didn't speak up because I was not a writer. Then they came for the students. But I didn't speak up because I was not a student. Then they came for musicians. But I didn't speak up because I was not a musician. And then they came for the Greens, the Muslims, the trade unionists, Christians, and the Jews, the travelers, the homosexuals, the journalists, the artists, the thuggers, the doctors, the philosophers, the economists, the anarchists and the politicians, the nerds, the Europeans, the Americans, the communists, the hackers, illegals, the homeless. And I didn't speak up because I wasn't any of them. Any of them. And then they came for me. And there was no one left to speak up for me.
Fuck me. Was that a political fucking...
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was shot well. I thought it was interesting. I liked the whole concept. I love free speech, so I think it's a terrific subject to work on. I just thought it was really well done. I mean, that's a serious production there. What'd you think?
I'm a little bit speechless with it.
I know you don't like moles, so...
I was distracted by the moles. I kept thinking of, Molly, the Austin Powers thing. I know you love your moles.
I love moles.
God. The little furry ones who live underground.
I thought she was very sexy with those moles.
Well, that's fair enough.
Okay.
I like that obviously the message is good. It was well shot. There was a couple of art house film school-esque pretentious moments for me, especially the one with chucking that thing on the bed.
Yeah, but it's an expression of what he's saying. He's saying it's my freedom of expression, my freedom of speech. I thought it was terrific.
Means you can chuck black paint
I liked
over your
that
bed.
music. It was angry. It was like it was a defiant piece, though. For someone who really wanted to talk about free speech, you kind of think that that's going to be a real calm kind of. This was defiant.
Oh, that's
and
good.
angry.
I mean, it's better than something else that your typical political message film. Absolutely, it was very stylized, very cool looking, very stylish, looked great. I would just say there's a few too many art house pretentious moments for me.
No, come on. I mean, because they had a art direction and a style about it. No.
Why did they throw the paint on the bed?
It's an expression.
Of
He's
what?
saying it's like freedom of speech. I can do what I want.
Why would somebody want to do that? It's a really nice bed.
Oh,
they spent money on the mattress and everything like that. It's not going to come out.
This was not pretentious. Pretentious is when you're creating a big message that it's not a message. Excuse me. Pretentious is when you don't have a clue of what's going on, and we've seen that before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a clue what was going on there, but I like things to symbolize something. But why would you throw paint on a bed?
That's expression.
What is it saying?
It's saying I can express myself
exactly
in the way I want.
Apart from being a very over-stylized, pretentious thing.
The only thing that it came across to me is almost like angry protester in a way. Because it was so defiant.
Why didn't they set the fucking thing on fire?
Should have burned the whole damn set down.
Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. You know.
No, but even the image of her, they just destroyed it. She's like, I can destroy my image at the end there.
It's very angry.
It is angry, but I enjoyed it. I mean, you know what? You're talking about freedom of speech. I think that was a terrific piece.
I'd like to see some kittens or something in it.
Come on, let's watch something else.
No, I haven't finished. Don't cut me off in my prime here.
You want to see kittens?
No, I'm joking, but I just felt a little bit too angry. I know it's appealing to the disaffected youth. That's what it's doing. That's what it's for.
I'm not
you, obviously.
Disaffected youth?
Not disinfected. I mean, I know you need disinfecting. Definitely, especially after your flatulence outburst.
Uh-huh.
The whole place needs fucking disinfecting, and all these poor guys need to go into hospital for respiratory illness. But I'm saying that it's a film made for the disaffected youth to get them involved in politics and shit like that.
Great.
Yeah, but it's angry.
Okay. One yay, one nay.
Exactly. Let's
All
move
right.
on.
Okay.
Grandpa. Grandpa.
Let me tell you a story.
Okay, we see straight off. I mean, that's the key thing. But does it matter? Shot and edited on the iPhone 4. Does it matter?
I wanted this in this piece because I want to make a point of saying, look at what they did with an iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, that looked pretty damn nice. A lot nicer than some of the other pieces we see. Visually beautiful, and he told a nice little story there. It was simple, nice. I think that this shows that, boy, when we were 9, 10, 11, if we had something like that.
I wasn't born.
When you were 9, 10,
Okay,
11,
yeah.
if you had something like that,
Yeah.
can you imagine?
The fun I would have had.
It's incredible.
Kids are spoilt today. Because that was shot. I mean, I don't know if you've tried it. Editing on the iPhone 4 fucking sucks. It's so difficult.
Well, put it in your computer. You
no,
don't
but
need
that's
to.
what I'm,
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying. The fact that they even edited that on there is very, very impressive.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
a
they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's a technical.
Oh.
That's a technical accomplishment as well as a narrative accomplishment.
But this means that some kid could take his iPhone and he could make an astounding little picture and really show what kind of potential he has.
Yeah. Well, the key thing with it is because it's a phone. I don't want this to become like a bloody promo for Apple.
Yeah.
Because it's a phone, you're always going to have it on you.
No.
Whereas you're not always going to have a camera on you.
That's it. The point of this whole clip is there's nothing should be stopping you from showing your prowess as a filmmaker. I was so happy when I saw this because I don't want any barriers like you talk about. You've talked about this before. Any barriers to enter into the filmmaking community.
You don't need expensive gear. You don't need to go and buy the best DSLR with all the lenses. You don't need to go and buy any other camera. If you've got a great idea, you can shoot on anything, and that's been very much displayed in this film.
Had he shot that with a DSLR, wouldn't have been any better. Actually, he couldn't have shot that with a DSLR.
Because of the size. So
Yeah.
He could have shot it with point and shoot, no worries.
Yeah, but there were shots where I saw where he slid that camera like in the caboose where they had the railing back there,
but you might,
and the lens was pointing forward.
I could have put my little point and shoot and done the same thing.
Probably not, because the lens is in the center. This actually had the advantage.
True, that is a good point.
Yeah, so I mean,
You made a good point.
Thank you. In this particular instance, the iPhone worked great, but whatever. The whole point is, we're trying to say is if you want to go make a film, make a film. It doesn't really matter what camera you're using unless you're really thinking, unless it's absolutely going to make it onto the big screen.
The biggest problem with shooting a film on something like an iPhone 4 is, I mean, how am I going to tweet? I'm using it to shoot onto camera. I was like, I want to play with it, I want to fiddle with it, I can't use it. That's why I like keeping it separate.
Yeah, right. Okay, fair enough.
Next.
Yep, let's go.
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed woman is queen. But what does she see? Nothing is as it's supposed to be. The days are long and lonely, so she's waiting for the night. He wasn't wearing armor. He'd put aside his quest. They swore they would never part, as he took her on a journey to a kingdom in her dreams. There's double madness in the palace. No salvation in the text. The sorceress has brewed her cauldron. The jester is trapped in the court. In cometh the messenger, with news attached to his wing. It never returns. Farewell, fair cruelty.
The man of the house has been recruited.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, can I go first?
Yeah, why not?
To be fair to Robyn, we said we are going to watch this entire piece so that we can give an honest and fair critique of it.
Yeah.
And I think we did.
Yeah. I mean, we have cut this down for the editing purposes of the actual show, and you can see the whole thing via the link, because it is a long film. It felt long, but it is definitely worth watching the whole thing.
Okay, so first off, the cinematography at times was spectacular. You know, special effects, not good.
Were not good. There's some absolutely atrocious keys in that.
Right, there was one where you could see like they were cut out. I don't know, maybe that was intentional.
Maybe. All right, okay, let's back up a bit. Before we get into the dissection of
okay,
what the fuck was that about?
It's about a dream, but I mean, I don't know which was the dream, and at the end, was that reality? I don't know any, I really can't follow the story. I mean, I know that it's
an experimental film school film. It says so at the beginning, so you kind of know what to expect. I'm not a film school guy. You didn't go to film school either. And
I mean, I had a feeling they got an A on that.
They probably did,
You know.
but it doesn't stop it being, I don't want to, I'm not being mean, because there's a lot of great stuff in that. It looked great. The production design was really quite superb.
Yeah.
The sets were great. The costumes were really nice.
Everything
the
was
movement
nice.
was
It's
nice.
just that
it was just utterly pretentious and had no cohesive story. But maybe that's not what they want, because it's an experimental.
Right, but I feel that Robyn kind of has such potential to make, I mean, she understands directing and screen direction and art direction and editing and everything.
I'd like to see something from her that is not more, I'm not saying more traditional, but actually maybe I am. Just something that is...
Let's just say something that's understandable by 80% of the public.
Yeah. I think the majority of people would watch that and go, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
We've actually seen this film before. Both of us have seen this film before.
Right.
But we couldn't get through it. We actually,
we forced ourselves.
We forced ourselves to watch this again. The first time we watched this, and we very rarely watched stuff beforehand. We were watching this and we couldn't fucking stand it.
Right. You said shut it off.
Shut it off. But today, I hated it. I hated it when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it. And that's really quite an interesting thing, because some things you can absolutely detest when you first see them, and if you give them another chance, you can appreciate them from. I really appreciated that so much more on second viewing.
Yeah.
Watching something it's a funny old thing, because sometimes you love something, and then you can watch it again and go, why did I love that? And it's maybe because of your frame of mind, and it works the other way around. You know,
things change, you know. Your mood changes.
I wasn't bored by that at all.
Well, I was. There was. I gotta say,
it was
at
long.
a certain point, I kind of tuned out a bit. Here's the other problem. In the beginning, it was much easier to hear the narration. Somehow, when you started changing your musics and whatnot as we got into it, I couldn't hear it anymore. I could hear it. I couldn't make sense of it. It wasn't clear.
Yeah.
So that's a big problem right there. But I think that what I would like to say is that if Robyn makes a piece in the future, email it to me and Phil. I want to see that, because I'm excited to see what she's going to do.
Just dial down the potential level.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch another clip.
Okay, cheers.
Life on the road is something I was raised to embrace. My ma always encouraged us to open our eyes and hearts to the world, make up our own minds through experience, and be inspired. I see life in angles, in lines of perspective, a slight turn of the head, the blink of an eye, subtle glimpses of magic other folk might pass by. Cameras help me translate, interpret, and understand what I see. It's a simple act that keeps me grinning. never set out to become anything in particular, only to live creatively and push the scope of my experience through adventure and through passion. That's still all that means something to me, same as most anyone with dreams. My heart bleeds Celtic blood and I'm magnetised to familiar frontiers. Raw, brutal, cold coastlines for the right wave riders to challenge. This is where my heart beats hardest. Try to pay tribute to that magic through photographs. Weathering the endless storms for rare glimpses of magic each winter is both a blessing and a curse I relish. I want to see wave riding documented the way I see it in my head and the way I feel it in the sea. It's a strange set of skills to begin to acquire. It's only achievable through time spent riding waves. All sorts of waves on all sorts of crafts. It means more time learning out in the water. Floating in the sea amongst lumps of swell, you'll always learn something. She's been a lifelong wise old classroom teacher of sorts, and hopefully always will be. Buried beneath headlands, shaping the coast, mind-blowing images of empty waves burn away at me. Solid ocean swells powering through deep, cold water. Heavy waves, waves with weight. They coax from comfortable routine, ignite the imagination, convey some divine spark, whisper possibilities, conjure the situations I thrive amongst and love to document. We all take knocks in the process. Broken backs, drownings, near drownings, hypothermia, dislocations, fractures, frostbite, head wounds, stitches, concussions. Broke my arm and that's just the last couple of years. Still look forward to getting amongst it each winter though. Cold creeping into your core, driving you mad, day after day. Mumbling to yourself while you hold position and wait for the next set to come. The dark side of the lens. An art form unto itself and us, silent workhorses of the surfing world. There's no sugary cliche. Most folk don't even know who we are, what we do or how we do it, let alone want to pay us for it. I never want to take this for granted, so I try and keep motivation simple, real and positive. If I only scrape a living, at least it's a living worth scraping. If there's no future in it, at least it's a present worth remembering. For fires of happiness and waves of gratitude. For everything that brought us to that point on earth at that moment in time. To do something worth remembering with a photograph or a scar. I feel genuinely lucky to hand on heart say I love doing what I do. And though I may never be a rich man, if I live long enough, I'll certainly have a tale or two for the nephews. And I dig the thought of that.
That was amazing.
Well, I want to say something that, so we saw, to me, this is also a bit of a pretentious piece in a way, but on the good side. So we've seen a pretentious that was sort of understandable, but this one was completely understandable.
Totally disagree with you.
Some people might say that this is a bit of a pretentious piece. I'm not saying in a bad way.
Do you know why it's not pretentious? Because it's real. Compared with the previous film, which had narration and stuff, which didn't make any sense, this
makes sense.
This makes sense. This is somebody expressing his passion. It's a film about his passion, his life. The thing that he loves is bodyboarding and photographing. And he's made a spectacular film with his team about that. And what made it work, which would have completely ruined the film if it had had this, was his own narration in his own words. If he didn't have his words there,
it would have been a nice surfing
music
video
over it, it would be like, another surfing video.
Yeah.
But
It could never have gone that long.
Yeah, no. I got to know this guy. I got to understand his passion.
Now, every time I watch this, I've seen this several times now, I'm trying to ask myself if he didn't have that wonderful accent, you know, that adds a lot to that piece. Well, he just has this sort of, whatever, that's
I suppose
irrelevant.
any English accent to you guys is wondrous.
Yeah,
So even if it's a northern one.
It's what I did love about it is his sort of just very dry editorial read.
It's him. The key thing is him. It's not fake. It's him talking how he talks, his own words. And that's what made it special.
Well, the whole piece to me has this sort of dark and brooding feel, and it comes through in the music, through in his poetry, it comes through in the grading, and I think that what I love about what they've done here is that I say this all the time, but I like every single part of your film has to relate to the theme, and he's done that, and I would say this is a dark and brooding piece.
It's a great film. I just think it works on every level. I got to like the guy. I got to completely get his passion. A lot of these things will make you think, oh, I want to try that. It didn't make me want to jump into the freezing cold North Sea or whatever part of Britain that was, because it looked bloody freezing. If I'm going to go into the water, it needs to be turquoise blue and it's nice and calm.
I did not see this as a film about surfing or diving.
No.
I saw it as a personal story about him, and the surfing and diving were background.
And also and we mustn't forget that it's also about photography. And that for me is one, I mean, as somebody who loves photography and images and things like that, that lifted it to another level as well. It also gave me the connection. And when you're watching stuff, often what makes you like something is you can connect to something in it. And I connected to the photography and understood how capturing those images is so special to him.
Yeah.
And so I got connected to that, and everything else he introduced was totally new to me. And I just think it was I thought it was a brilliant film. Absolutely brilliant film. And I'd love to meet him one day and actually tell him.
Yeah.
He's English. Maybe I will. It's a small country.
Yeah. Well, we had a really well put together, excellent selection of clips today, I thought. They kind of one led into another.
Yeah.
And
the boys have actually done a good job for once, haven't they?
Yeah. I really enjoyed doing this today. Yeah. Thanks.
Cheers.
Okay.
Make me look sexy, Daniel Koerbel.
What he's done is I got to think of the right words for it.
Is it the Alzheimer's? Is it the age?
Yeah, it's the age. It's the age.
I'm trying to pretend that I'm 14. Is that a problem? Great. And this has been epic.
This has been a great
You're
episode.
Epic.
You're lovely.
I love you.
I love you too.
Dead really. Yes.